Hey guys, I'm Anna.
And I'm Brian.
And we are
Those Annoying Vegans!
So we hope if you're watching this video, you've already watched our debate with Primal Edge Health. If you haven't yet, please check it out because we'll be discussing that debate in full right now. First of all, we told Tristan that we were very grateful to have been invited on his channel for our very first live debate.
And we sincerely meant that. We were really excited to finally have an authentic exchange of ideas between two parties that disagree. I think that's something that has been lost in social media. It's usually a lot of people just yelling at each other.
Yeah.
But to be able to talk with someone and have a conversation, it's rare and it's important, and we really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, many non-vegans have been unresponsive to our debate challenges, so it was nice to engage with someone in that way.
So how did it go? Well, very well, we think.
Pretty well.
It was a very polite, it was a cordial, it was a productive, but yes, we understand, frustrating at times, but productive conversation. And we really hope that it made people think. That was the goal. Having watched Tristan in a few debates on YouTube and having watched a live stream of his, we went into the debate not necessarily trying to change Tristan's mind. Our goal was to present our message to the open-minded members of his audience.
Before we get started,
whoa!
Because we always leave this part to the end, subscribe! Subscribe to this channel. If you watch our videos consistently, and even if you don't, and you want to try it out, subscribe, because that really helps us out. It really helps get our message out there. You know, when people see that you got subscribers, and y'all say, hey, you should have more subscribers. Guess what helps?
Guess who can help that?
You can help us with that. You can share our videos, and you can subscribe, and thank you if you have.
And of course, we're on YouTube. We watch a lot of YouTube. We know there are those YouTubers that you always watch, but you're not subscribed to, or you don't have the notification set, and YouTube's algorithm may still populate your homepage with videos from the people that you watch the most, but it still helps if you click the little button.
It does.
That would be super awesome possum.
Now, the reason the debate hinged so much on whether morality is subjective or objective is because when Tristan first challenged us to debate, this is what he said.
In your theology, if we are all stardust, then what is the basis for morality? Why should we not eat animals? What basis do you have to make moral judgments or moral critiques on anything? If we're all animals, if we're all one, what sets us apart? And what makes human beings culpable and responsible morally? Now, in your worldview, you cannot answer this.
As a Christian, Tristan claims to not only get his morality from his religion, but also that morality is objective because it is given to us by God. And more to the point of this debate, he believes it's morally acceptable to needlessly kill animals because God has no objection to it. He sees morality as a hard and fast set of rules given to us by an all-knowing being.
And our argument was that morality, all morality, even religious morality, is subjective. And by providing evidence to support the idea that morality is subjective, we were illustrating to Tristan that he doesn't kill animals for food because God has no objection to it. He's killing animals for food because he himself subjectively has no objection to it. Now, we know this is an uncomfortable subject for a lot of people, the idea that there is no objective right or wrong, there is only subjective right or wrong. That feels wrong.
Yeah, if only it were as easy as asking our spiritual father what is right and what is wrong. But as responsible adults, we have to choose what's right and wrong and to act in accordance with our values. And we agree, it's hard, but effectively saying that I can murder non-human animals because God says it's okay, or at the very least is indifferent to it and thus supportive of it, it takes the work away from thinking, and it does nothing for the victims.
Tristan himself was clearly wrestling with this throughout the debate, and we brought that up to him. We illustrated that.
If there's no right or wrong, if there's no good or bad, if there's no morality, like...
He's struggling with this issue, and it's like, and I get it, because I agree, it's hard. It's difficult to be a grown human being in the world today and have to decide for yourself what's right and what's wrong.
No, but you just make it up. It's so easy. If it's subjective, it's like there's no need to justify. Not if it's subjective and if it doesn't matter, we just make it up. Why would I wrestle with anything? If morality is not, if there's no right or wrong, I could just do what made me feel good, right? It's just pure hedonism.
No, that would be you just doing. That would be sort of, what is that, nihilism? Just
hedonism, yeah, but
satisfying your own personal pleasure.
Believing that morality is subjective is nihilism. That's the thing. That is nihilism.
I disagree.
And he dealt with this in a number of ways.
So then a vast majority of people have decided that they should eat meat. A vast majority of people have eaten meat, for time immemorial, and have used animals as food. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with enslaving animals if everybody agrees that it's okay? Why are the things that we do unnatural, yet all the things that animals do natural? We do all agree that eating animals is right, and we do treat it like it's objectively right. Yeah, we do.
There's a percentage of the population that believes that eating animals is wrong.
Yeah. How can you justify that we're different and we have moral agency, but animals don't?
He or she still has a subjective experience of life, and they value their life, and they don't want to suffer.
But when another animal kills it, it's cool. The parasites that live in human beings and all animals, and mosquitoes will come and bite your skin and leave a welt on your skin.
Are we basing our morality on what a mosquito or...
It's about what most people believe, is what you said.
The main way in which he dealt with this was to conflate morality with truth.
Morality, truth, right or wrong, are not determined by us. Right? God determines what is right or wrong, and it's not like it's a subjective thing.
He would frequently say those two words in the same breath, no matter how many times we clarified.
That is a question. What is truth? What is morality? What is right and wrong?
Well, truth and morality are two different things.
Well, you need truth for there to be morality. What you believe is morally right or wrong is not objectively real, and that is not based in objective truth. We can't debate on morality if there's no right or wrong that exists. I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything, but if we were debating the ethics of veganism and you admit that morality is subjective and then say, I have no right to tell you what to do, the argument's over. If I was a jerk, I'd be like, the debate's over, I win the debate.
Now, in our opinion, debates aren't won or lost. They're more like an opportunity to exchange ideas in a public forum for others to contemplate. It isn't an agreed upon fact that morality is objective. So what we felt he needed to do was provide evidence for moral objectivity, which he didn't, other than, I believe in God, thus moral objectivity. You see what we mean?
And as we brought up right there at the end of the debate, what really got lost in all of this subjective v. objective language were the victims. The victims are the ones that we're here to talk about. The victims are the ones that we're defending. When we talk about morality and whether it's subjective or objective, it does nothing for the victims to have this sort of mincing of words, because whether morality is subjective or objective, it is objectively true that these innocent animals are being killed against their will.
But then we got questions like, well, why is suffering bad?
Yes.
We are here. Let's find the way to live. Let's seek a lifestyle that excludes inflicting suffering upon others as best as we can.
Why is suffering bad? And is suffering bad?
Why is suffering wrong? Or is suffering always bad? Or can suffering sometimes be good? It's a lot of meta. And what we're here to do is to speak up for the victims of the animal agriculture industries.
They don't care about any of these questions, by the way.
They don't care about objective or subjective morality. And in fact...
Or our discussions.
Yes. And in fact, if I were a pig in a slaughterhouse and I was being told, hey, we're only killing you because our God says it's okay, then I think I would kind of hope that you're not a religious person in that instance, if it means you're not going to take my life. There are real victims involved. And we got really swept up into the, subjective versus objective morality thing. But as Tristan himself said...
Yeah, to the people who are bitching in the chat, this is my channel, and I'm going to bring this wherever we want to go. I know some of you get triggered when I bring it here. Don't bitch about it. I don't care what you think. This is my channel. Thank you very much.
Now, Tristan has a dog, and he claims to treat the animals on his farm with love and respect. Despite this statement,
she would be producing more if we were milking her twice a day. Right? Once we get rid of the calf, once our little calf, Joey, our little bull calf, is out of the picture, then she'll be producing more milk.
Now, we don't know what that means. We don't know if it involves killing the calf, separating the calf from the mother, selling the calf. We don't know.
He also said that he has slit his sheep's throat and that they're very calm and docile while he does it.
Does an animal go willingly into a knife point? I mean,
Yeah, sheep do. Sheep
you don't
just
have
stand
to.
there. My sheep will just stand there while I slit their throat to slaughter it. They'll just stand there. Sheep are so mellow.
They're
It's
used to
chickens.
you being very nice to them, and then one day you
They
pull out a
trust.
knife and slit your throat. I mean,
Yeah.
that
I
I
protect, I
think that
protect them from, yeah, they're both of those things. They're bred for that.
I don't
And
know how slitting someone's throat can be considered protection.
someone,
I
it's
mean,
a sheep. It's not someone. It's not a person. It's a sheep.
I don't know if you can respectfully slit someone's throat, but according to Tristan, this is what he does.
But he still claims to treat them with love and respect. So if he claims to do this, that means he values love and respect. So why? Why treat them with love and respect? If it is objectively okay to murder them, why does he care about their well-being? But then we got questions like, well, why is well-being a good thing? So we brought up slavery as one of many examples of the fact that morality has changed over time. Thus, evidence for its subjectivity. And what did Tristan do? He dodged it.
why shouldn't human beings enslave black people anymore?
Because
Like,
they're human beings, they're made in the image and likeness of God, right? So that's like, we
Yeah,
believe
but
that. So back to the question, that's a
We're
good question.
looking at that.
But we're
hold on,
looking
hold
at
on.
that
That's
from-
interesting. We're looking at that from the confirmation bias, basically, because back then the oppressors did not see it that way.
They did not see black people as equal.
I don't believe morality is subjective, so doing moral calculus on the past and speculating on that, it doesn't work against my position.
There was an especially egregious dodge on his part when we brought up the fact that, for example, the story of Abraham, God asked Abraham to kill his son. And we asked Tristan, if God appeared to you tonight and asked you to kill your son, would you do it?
That's a
it's the
hypothetical,
word of
it's a
God.
false hypothetical, right? So it's like
Why is it false?
it doesn't exist. It didn't if God was a pony jumping over the rainbow singing the Lucky Charms song, it's just like that doesn't exist.
But if what God says is right and wrong is objectively right and wrong, then God asking you to kill your son would be objectively right.
God's not asking me to kill my son.
He flat out refused to engage with this hypothetical.
Yeah, he said, well, God wouldn't do that. But by the way, we never finished that story because I think at one point Tristan said, well, he didn't kill his son, right? No, but that's not how the story goes. He didn't because God was like, oh, hold on.
You're really going to kill your son? Please don't.
I was just
testing
trying
your
to,
faith.
just testing your faith.
Yeah.
Chill. His immediate dismissal of our hypothetical was very telling.
Our point being is that if everything that God says is the truth and everything that God deems good is objectively good and bad is objectively bad, if God commands you to kill your son, if you believe in this objective morality, then it would logically follow that you would then have to kill your son, unless you're choosing to not obey God. Many people choose to not obey God, but then what you're doing is you're taking the morality into your own hands, and you're subjectively deciding that you would like your son to live over the wishes of God. That's a subjective action.
So we answered his questions. We entertained his hypothetical.
All right, so the rats that get killed by the rodenticides, the bugs that get killed by the rodenticides, is it moral to eat those?
It's like
It's kind of like the roadkill question.
Yeah.
In theory, no, there's nothing immoral about eating an animal
Yeah.
because they're already dead.
What if it was like week 3, you're super hungry, all that's left on the shelf is meat because everybody's being super ethical shoppers. Would you eat that meat?
Well, that's kind of like saying if you were
On a deserted
on
island.
a deserted island and the only thing you could eat was meat. I mean, obviously, humans would self-preserve. It's wired in us to preserve our own life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're forced to do something as a mode of survival, I don't think it can be really deemed ethical or unethical because you're forced to do it.
But he dismissed ours? Now, if we were to have a follow-up conversation with Tristan,
Because he did invite us back.
yeah, I think what we might like to do is grant the objectivity of morality so that we can understand where he stands on the topic of veganism.
Exactly.
Because this debate, became more a debate on subjective versus objective morality and not on veganism. So
and since the animals don't care whether our human morality is subjective or objective, I think we would just grant moral objectivity.
Let's talk about veganism accepting that God does dole out these rules and laws and commandments that we must follow.
For example, if human beings are made in the image of God, which is something that we've heard Tristan say numerous times.
And it says in the Bible. Humans are made in the image of God. What is the image of God? What does that mean?
What does it mean to be made in the image of God? In theory, Tristan of Primal Edge Health and Beyonce are both made in the image of God, yet they look wildly different. Equally attractive. Don't get us wrong, Tristan. Equally attractive, but very different. So what does it mean to be made in God's image?
Yeah, is it physical? Is it values? Is it
being a primate with 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head? I don't know.
What does that mean? And what evidence do we have that God cares less about the animals not made in his image?
Because God created everything. Yeah. God created cows and chickens and pigs, and he created them with the ability to suffer and feel pain and feel love and feel joy and have familial relationships, but they aren't in his image. Is there evidence to support that God cares less about the beings that he created simply because they aren't in his image? What evidence do we have to show that simply being made in the image of God makes us superior?
The Bible has evidence for both sides. I mean, you can find something to support this and you can find something to refute that. And also, what were Christian slave owners doing in the 17 and 1800s?
That's another thing he refused to address.
Yeah. Were they objectively wrong for owning beings who were made in God's image?
Objective morality, it cannot explain slavery. It cannot explain the subjugation of women. It cannot explain the oppression of the LGBT community. It cannot explain all of these things, because if there is an objective truth, then why have we behaved so differently throughout the course of our time here on this planet?
And I think at one point he said that it's because humanity has disconnected itself from the truth, whom I suppose he meant to be God. But if everyone were connected to the truth, then oppression would not exist, right? However, it does exist. So we're dealing with the facts.
Different cultures, different societies have different laws for the same crimes. Different people have different opinions of those same crimes. How is this possible if what's right and what's wrong is objectively true and given to all of us by our Creator who created us in his image? Moral objectivity cannot explain the fact that select humans throughout our history have been granted select rights. And it certainly can't explain animal rights. Subjective morality, on the other hand, can explain all of this. Our morals change. As societies change, our morals change.
Yeah, what was once considered moral is not forever moral. So at the end of the day, like we said, we weren't trying to change Tristan's mind necessarily. We were trying to present veganism to his open-minded viewers and anyone who bumps into this video.
So guys, let us know your thoughts. Did you watch the debate? We hope you did.
The fun part of a debate is witnessing the
conversation evolve.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We won't touch the evolve part of this debate.
We believe in this, the theory of evolution, which I believe is unscientific and unfounded and unobserved and untrue.
But what did you guys think? Did you watch the debate? Do you agree with us? Do you agree with Tristan? Are there questions that you wish he would have asked of us or that we would have asked of him? Are there topics that you wish we would have covered that we can potentially cover in a future debate because he invited us back on? Please let us know all of that right there in the description below. It's all for the animals.
Yeah.
Everything we do, we try to keep the victims in mind, and we engaged in this debate and we'll be engaging in many future debates for the animals. Speaking of which, if there's anyone else out there that you would like to see us debate, please let us know. We are constantly offering debates. Every time we do a response video, a debate is on the table. We love these types of debates. We go to Cubes of Truth. We engage in street debates. We love this important part of our society that we've unfortunately seemingly lost. And certainly online, a lot of people just talk at each other. But having the opportunity to have an in-depth conversation in a polite and respectful manner in an open forum is a wonderful thing.
If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram. We're very active on Instagram and also on Facebook by association, though we don't go on there much. And check out our Etsy store. Get ready for your veg fests if they're not canceled yet.
Yes. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not, but if
We'll
they
get
are,
the corona under control before May, hopefully.
yeah. If
before
not,
the-
just wear them at home.
You know, you can always just do a little photo shoot, put it on the gram.
Get the message out there. And thank you to all of our patrons on Patreon. You guys really, really help us out. You help us do more activism and devote more time to these videos. We hope that in the future we can devote more time to what is truly important, and that is speaking up for the victims.
We'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye!
Bye.
Hey guys, I'm Anna,
And I'm Brian.
and we are
What do we say about the fridge?
I know, but it took us like 20 minutes to get started.
The fridge will be fine.
Yeah,
Fridge is not gonna
20
make any
minutes
noise.
ago. 20 minutes ago.
I want to keep this for the bloopers. The amount of noise that one jet can make
There is such
as
a
it
thing.
crosses the San Fernando Valley.
There is such a thing as noise pollution.
And we've got it. Yeah, baby, we've got it. I'm your Venus. I'm your fire. Your desire.
Betty got activated.
Betty, you like that song?
Betty's Petunia.
Petunia, you're my chicken. You're my fire. Flower.
Flower.
You're my flower,
Oh my gosh.
Petunia, Podita.
You're worth it to